I've been there, because I have 3 kids, and so the hardest part was starting back and to get back to work and get back to being active, and it's hard. And if you just put your mindset to it and I'm going to do this and walk through the door, it's the people that you're around and the friends you make. You do it together.
Podcast episode of Prescription for Your Health, sponsored by Roane General Hospital. I'm your host, Andrew Miller. Very happy to be joined today by a couple of young ladies here. We're going to talk about some swimming opportunities that we have here at Roane General Hospital. The hospital, the fitness complex, they have a pool. Who would have thought that, an indoor pool? But we're very happy to be joined by Sherrill Tolley, who is a certified fitness instructor and the instructor of the aquatics aerobics classes. I'll let her tell exactly what it is. And I've got to give Kyle Raines all the credit in the world. The moniker for Jill Taylor, who is with us, is Certified Water Aerobics Enjoyer. That is your title for this podcast, Jill.
Thank you, Kyle.
Number one, thank you guys for joining us, obviously. Here, we're going to get into some really fun stuff when it comes to a different form of exercise, and one that is really good for people who may have health issues, joint issues, all sorts of things. This is an opportunity for these people to be able to get involved in some sort of movement and exercise. And water is always good to be in. I tell you what, I feel a whole lot lighter than I am when I'm in water. I know that. So that helps. First off, we're going to start with you, Sherrill. Want to talk about fitness in general, health and wellness in general. This is obviously something that you personally have been interested in basically your entire life. It's something that you started doing. You were an athletic youngster.
Yes.
And it's something that you've continued, correct?
Correct. I've been in exercise, active, doing training for probably 20 years. I love it. I think I influence my kids to do the same. I just like helping people.
Yeah. Well, it's something that obviously that's been passionate personally for you. And instead of just doing it for yourself, what you have done is you've decided to make that something that you wanted to do as a career. So you joined the staff here at Roane General Hospital in the fitness center and the wellness center. What are some of the things that you do here? I know you're a certified trainer. Is that correct? First. Mm-hmm. And also you do some other classes. Let's talk about some of the classes that you were able to teach. I know one that our CEO, Doug Bentz, is all about.
Right. I do several different classes. I do silver sneakers, kickboxing, a circuit class, a little, like they call it lunch crunch. It's like a little 15, 20-minute class. They call it, we could do Tabata. Just, I switch it up all the time so it don't get boring. And then, of course, water aerobics. But we even have a walking class. I mean, anything to keep them active to where they're not getting bored. And then we started a Weight 101, go out in the gym. A lot of people don't even know how to use the equipment.
Exactly.
So it just keeps growing.
Some of them don't know how to use them correctly.
Right.
So that's why you and the rest of the staff is here to help with that. Have you found, because, there's all different types of people who want to get involved in being health and well. Some people prefer just to go hit the weights. Some people prefer other things. Have you found people who kind of like maybe peered into your classes, not really sure about themselves, and then all of a sudden they become regulars?
Yes. And I have to tell everyone, the hardest part is walking through the door.
That is 100% true. I promise you that.
It is.
I have been working through my own personal journey here for 4 weeks, and every morning I'm trying to think of excuses to not come in. But
I'll get you in one of my classes.
At some point.
We have tried to get him into lunch crunch.
If you guys continue to badger me every time you see me, there's a chance you may see me. Well, we're going to bring Jill Taylor in here. Jill, and again, you are somebody who has set personal goals for yourself when it comes to being health and well. And where did this come from for you what is your history of health and wellness? Has it been an up and down thing? Well, let's talk about what got you to here today.
It has. I did 20 years in the Navy and retired, and my husband and I, we moved here. We've lived here 18 years now. We raised our daughter here, and if I've had 2 knee replacements, and if you don't keep moving, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And definitely with the water aerobics was something that I was really interested in because of the ease on the joints and everything.
You know, one thing I've noticed with talking to many of the people, just the human interest side of this podcast, I think back to BJ Schreckengost and what happened to her and the fact that she's able to do what she can do. Mm-hmm. And I think of the excuses that I always used to have myself, and I'm sure people who are out there listening and watching this are like, man, okay, she's had 2 knee replacements. What's my excuse for not getting out and getting active? And what you guys are able to do here as a staff is provide any opportunity to do anything at whatever level you are at. And let's talk about this water aerobics thing. Is this something that you have any history with, or is this something that you guys were drawing straws and you became the aquatics instructor?
Honestly, there was a lot of classes going to have to be dropped because the person doing the classes before couldn't, do them anymore. So I just got certified, and it just kept growing and growing. More people wanting in it, and people coming out of therapy needing that.
Yes.
And you can do a lot of things in the water you can't do outside of the water. It helps, like she said, it helps your joints. And it's good for all ages, but it's more so, it's better for, the seniors because, it helps them with arthritis, pain, joint pain, things that I have ladies every day say, I can't do this outside the water. And they feel so much better. They can actually climb steps now. They're in my walking class. I actually now have them in my Tabata classes, weightlifting class because they're building muscle. Yeah. So they've came a long way.
Like them, they don't have to worry about falling.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, the pool is only 4 feet deep. Right. I mean, you don't have to worry about falling and, injuring yourself more.
Yeah.
And
one thing that's not just Doug Bence himself, but, Jeff Tanner's talked about this, and a lot of the people who I've spoken to, it's all about improving your quality of life, whatever that means for each individual person. So if somebody wants to get involved in this water aerobics class, what are they going to expect when they come to see you guys? What is the water aerobics class? What are some of the things you guys are able to do in this class?
There's a treadmill in the water. People wouldn't even.
I did not know there's a treadmill in the water.
There's current.
They're called endless pools. So they shoot the current out, so you can walk on the treadmill.
I can turn it down,
or you can swim in front of the other one.
So
or just
is the current thing that this is what you've been talking about? We're going to get to that in a second. We're going to talk about that in a second. So, so you've got a treadmill in the pool, which is something I did not understand. That's wild. So, what are some of the other things? Obviously, as you said, it's kind of more of a low impact kind of exercising.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Well, they do stretching. I do cardio with them. So, there's just, I switch it up, and I actually even do Tabata in the pool with them. So it's never a dull moment, but they're actually moving muscles and moving more so than what they would actually do if they would go home and just sit in a chair. Yeah. They're working their core, they're working on every body part.
And sometimes when I think about being in the pool myself and like just swimming around, just sometimes wading in the pool, I don't even think about that as being exercise. But boy, you get out of the pool after like an hour, and then the next day you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Right.
So it gets to you. It will actually really work you well then.
Yes, we have aqua dumbbells, and we have different pool noodles and different things we can use, and I just make it fun with them.
Well, obviously, Jill, it's been so much fun for you. Now, I want to ask you a chicken or egg question. Did you get into the water aerobics class knowing that you had a goal of swimming continuously, or did you want to swim continuously and then found this water aerobics class? And let's talk about this goal that you have.
Well, I was doing water aerobics down at the city pool over the summer, and I classes came available, being able to use them here. So I signed up and got into one. And then I just started doing it. And then in January,
Right.
I said, my goal is I want to be able to swim 5 minutes consecutively in front of the current without stopping. I mean, and I was only doing like 1 or 2 minutes, and I was like, I'm done. And then we got to 5 minutes, and then to 6 minutes and 7 minutes, and then someone else found out that I was doing it, so her and I are kind of competing against each other.
Yes.
So I'm
those
up to
challenges.
20 minutes
20 minutes
against the
consecutive.
current consecutively.
Yeah, you start with
I'm
one
worn
goal.
out. 20 minutes. I think 20 minutes is my max.
She's the winner. Right.
20
And you
minutes
always have
is
to.
my max.
That's one thing that I guess you would know more than anybody is. You have to set incremental goals when you're talking about health and wellness, because
You do.
you have that original goal. At some point, if you're consistent, you're going to reach that goal. So is that something that you can talk with I say
Absolutely.
the ladies, but I don't know. I mean, are men involved in this too? I don't know how many.
I mean, I don't have actually men in my water aerobics classes, but I have them in my other classes.
Yeah.
So absolutely, any goals that anybody has, I mean, come to me. I can help you reach those goals.
And the wonderful thing with her is, even in like her classes out in the exercise room, if there's something that you can't do because of 2 knee replacements or whatever, I mean, she just says, well, why don't you just do this instead when we get to that place in the rotation? And
modify.
I mean, it's not like, no, you have to do it, or
Yeah, that was one of her selling points to me when I first came in here the first day I was in the gym.
We can modify.
She said, "Come on in." I was
Everything
like, "I
can be
can't jump." Oh, you
modified.
won't have to jump. I'm like,
I can't do jumping jacks, but I just do the one leg out the side at each,
Yeah, we just call them
I
chill
do.
jacks.
I feel bad because now I said, what did I say when you guys? I said, give me 3 months. I'm a month and a half in now. I'm like, oh gosh, here in about a month and a
Get
half.
you next week.
I've enjoyed that class.
If
I'm
Doug
sure it'll
can do it,
yeah.
you can do it.
And I'm sure at that point, though, it'll be a nice break and a change for me, because obviously anything you do exercise-wise can get stagnant.
Yeah.
And again, that's where we refer to the professionals. And you guys, you obviously have a wealth of knowledge in the way that you can train people and the different things that you can do. How challenging is it for you to keep things fresh in every program that you design?
Pretty challenging. I love it. I mean, Jill can probably tell you. I mean, there's probably every class that I get that she comes into of mine. It's never the same.
No, even like in the circuit classes, I mean, it's always something. Maybe it's
Something's
just
tweaked.
one or 2 little things are different. You're just like,
And I tease her sometimes. This is just a joke between her and I, because I've been training her for over a year. Mm-hmm. I told her that her strongest muscle was her eyes, of rolling them. But I said, I've helped you reach that goal, though, from 5 minutes to 20.
that's right.
20 minutes of eye
right.
rolling and moving. Listen, you can drag. I don't care if you drag you to the finish line as long as you're getting there, right?
Exactly. And all of her, I mean, we always just have such a good time. I mean, we do. I mean, we say it all the time in the pool, what's said in the pool stays in the pool,
Well, that's a great segue. As you and I were discussing right before we came on, there's an aspect of this water aerobics class that is not one that people would even think about. And I think that relates to exercising in general if you're with a group of people.
Right.
And as you said, it's the social aspect of it. I know my mother is in your classes. I know my Aunt Janet's in your classes.
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing for the two of them, not only because they need to be moving low impact work, but the ability to talk to others and have that like-minded behavior. Mm-hmm. The social aspect is something that you wouldn't think about.
Right.
That's very interesting to me that's something that you would notice, but you obviously are a people watcher while you're working. Mm-hmm. And so you see them interact and you find out, this is very interesting. These
So
people.
I let them talk. And I just stand up there and I show them the movements.
Is there sometimes you have to, hey,
No,
we
I
gotta
just
move.
I let them talk, and I just do the movements, and then they follow along.
Oh goodness, I know my mother, and I'm sure she could yap for days. She and my Aunt Janet.
I do a class with your mom and your aunt. But like, I would have never have met your mom.
True.
You know, I mean, I've just met different women in there, and I mean,
And I let them talk.
and yeah, I don't think your mom and your aunt ever talk except in the pool.
Probably not. Yeah, they do a lot of that, I'm sure, in the pool.
But we have a lot of laughs.
Yeah, we do.
You know that the water aerobics is again so good for that. Now we say it's good for low impact, obviously, but it's not as if you're a young, healthy person, you can't come in and do water aerobics
Right.
because I guess you could do it at your pace, correct?
Right.
So you would
Absolutely.
accept anybody.
Right. And you know, and also we have a lift also. I mean, it's for all ages. We even have a lift for people that, you know, it's in a wheelchair or whatever. So I mean, anyone's welcome.
As we've said throughout this podcast, no excuses. That you
No
guys,
excuses.
that's the thing about this prescription for your health. You guys have taken away every excuse possible, every one of them, and it just comes down to personal accountability at that point, you know.
That's what it is.
But it does help if you have people that you're suffering with, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing to have those people with you because you're in it as a group, you're in it as a team, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And again, there's some healthy competition that you guys can
I'm
create.
competing against a 73-year-old.
Who's winning right now?
Well, I am, but
But there for a while, that
it was back.
It was
I mean,
kinda
I would do
squirrely.
another minute, and she
motiv-
would do 2 minutes, and I'd do 2 minutes, and she, yeah, it was.
it motivated both of them.
It
It was
did
great.
motivate
And I
both
put it up
of
on
us.
the dry race board, and they would look at it, and then they would go harder. It was pretty funny.
She's egging it on. That's
I
a
am,
Yes.
good
of
thing.
course.
Yes.
So let's talk about times, dates. When is, if somebody wanted to come in and take your water aerobics class, when are these classes offered? How does one get involved in it? What do you need to do before joining this class?
You would just call in and talk to Kyle. I offer 2 on Monday, Monday morning and Monday evening, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I also do 1 on Friday.
Okay.
So I do 2 on Thursday also in the morning.
So
and
there's a
then-
lot of opportunities for people. Now, one thing I was talking with another one of your coworkers is space is kind of limited. Now, it is a pool, and it is an
Right.
indoor pool, but it's not as if it's a 25-meter lap pool. So
Right.
sometimes you can have, I mean, participation is great, but there's only so much space that you have, and that's another thing that you have to kind of deal with.
Right. The most I've had in the pool is 6, and that's probably the max.
Really.
Yeah, I just had 5, just maybe 30 minutes ago. I like 5,
Yeah.
but I've had 6.
And that's, I guess that's a good reason that you have so many of these classes. Not everybody needs to attend every single one of them. So
Right.
you have offered different times. And do you have regulars at those different times
I
for these
do
classes?
have regulars because they
Other
love
than
it so
Jill.
much. Other than Jill, but we do have openings. You know, a lot of them say full, but there's always people that, you know, have doctor's appointments or whatever. You know, my suggestion is call in, put your name on the list with Kyle. He'll give it to me, and I'll let you know when an opening comes in.
So just call the fitness complex.
Yes.
Talk with Kyle, who again the director of medical fitness here, and then try to figure out a time to schedule that and make sure that you get involved in that. The next question is a very interesting and question that people might not think about. What are you supposed to wear when you do water aerobics?
Well, you can wear shorts and a t-shirt. You can wear leggings and a t-shirt. You can wear a bathing suit. I would suggest not to wear jeans, but it might weight you down a little bit.
No
but,
cutoffs.
No cuffs. But, I mean, I've seen people wear a bathing suit. Most people wear shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah.
Some people wear leggings. It's just whatever.
So jorts are acceptable.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend denim, but
Only if
Well, it
you're,
just gets real
if
heavy.
You're coming
Right,
in,
right.
If you're coming in, that's what you.
right, that's what you can wear, Drew.
Listen, I have created some jorts for some 4th of July situations. So I do have those, but yeah, I wouldn't suggest wearing jorts either as well. We kind of talked about what got you involved in this. As you mentioned, you come from a Navy background.
Mm-hmm.
You were in it for 20 years, you said,
20
in
years.
the Navy. So obviously, exercise was a big part of your 20 years in the Navy.
Yeah.
Did it start before that, though, for you when it came to like wellness, health, exercise, athletics, anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I did some sports in high school, but nothing major. But just you just my husband and I, we hunt a lot. We have
So you walk a lot.
we have bird dogs. We go to South Dakota. We walk a lot in South Dakota bird hunting. So I mean, it's a lot easier if you have those extra pounds off. I mean, but it's something you work at every day, but yeah, just wanting to be healthy enough to keep doing what we do.
So you've been here now for a couple of years, right, Sherrill? Mm-hmm. Other than Jill, what are some of the success stories that you like? Is there any that you can think off the top of your head? Because I know you've done this long enough now that you know people who have been there and consistent and have changed their lives.
Yes. A lot of my people that I've trained, it's just they've lost anywhere from 20, 30 pounds by doing my classes in like just a couple months. And they'll tell you that the hardest part was just walking through the door. They said, I couldn't have done this without you.
That's such a consistent answer from a lot of people, from a lot of you guys. I talk with Matt, I talk with Will, I talk with Kyle, I talk with all these people. And they're like, man, the hardest part is to start it.
I've been there, because I have 3 kids. And so the hardest part was starting back and to get back to work and, get back to being active. And it's hard. And if you just put your mindset to it and I'm going to do this and walk through the door, it's the people that you're around and the friends you make, you do it together.
And a lot of them have where they do the prescription for your health, and now they're doing their checkups every so often, and whether it being I hear them talking in class. Well, I just had my blood work done, and my numbers are lower, and so I mean it's working.
I think that's one of the things I really like about the program and the in-body scanner and all the extra sort of diagnostics that you guys offer, because I've always said this, and I'll say it till the day they put me under. Stop chasing the scale. Mm-hmm. I know people who they weigh themselves in the morning, they weigh themselves after their workout, and they weigh themselves at night. I'm like, stop that.
Well, I'm one of those.
Are you really?
I am, and I have to say honestly.
Stop that.
I have to honestly say the in-body is the best thing, because the scale's only a number, and even being a trainer for years, it's mental. You have to stop because you want to be healthier. You want muscle. You don't want to weigh less. Muscle weighs more. And so I got on the in-body the other day, and, it showed me that 10 pounds of muscle in the past month. And so it's just stop worrying about the numbers.
Yeah. Stop worrying about that singular
I
number,
do too,
obviously.
and I've done it for years, but don't look at the numbers.
Well, let me ask you this. As you mentioned, you've had 3 kids.
Yes.
Do you think, and I guess this is a hypothetical, do you think it would have been harder to come back each time had you not had that background of fitness?
Yes.
I figured that would be as much. And does that provide you with your clients? You know all these people. Some of them have trouble coming back from stuff. Some of them have never gotten in.
Right.
So it provides you, I don't know what the word is for me, some sympathy, probably not sympathy is probably not the word, understanding of their situation and how you're able to, again, when you sign up to be a fitness trainer, you sometimes sign up to be a psychologist.
Exactly.
Sometimes you become a counselor.
You have to listen to them.
Yeah. Even if it's my mom and my aunt Janet yapping.
Yes. I have people that I train that has heart problems, and they just hug me and tell me how much I've helped them, because I've helped them mentally and physically, and it just makes me feel good. I like helping people. So.
And a lot of people like to be helped, right?
Exactly, exactly. Even if it's just you just need to get something off your chest. That she'll listen and
it stays with me.
What happens in the pool?
What happens in the pool stays in the pool.
Well, if somebody is out there after they hear this and see this podcast, what advice would you have for them if they're planning on getting involved in these water aerobics classes? Is there anything that you think that you could tell them, like, to prepare for getting in the pool, or is it just grab and go here? Let's jump in.
I would just
Metaphorically speaking, let's jump in.
Right.
you just have to start slow. Just like I said, just make the first step. Come and try it. Because I know once you get in the pool, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 94 degrees in there.
Yeah. By the way, it is a temperature. You mentioned
Yes.
that it is a temperature controlled pool.
It's
Nothing against the open classes at the city pool, but
No,
the
those
city
are
pool,
great.
the city pool
Right.
hovers around 55, 65 degrees.
all right.
I mean, January, February, when it was so cold, it was nice just to come over here
Right.
and get, put your swimsuit on and get in the pool.
Right.
There's a time for the summertime pools outside, and there's a
Yep,
time where you need to be
exactly.
inside.
Right.
In a temperature
Exactly.
controlled. Yeah, so just show up and manage expectations. Don't go 1,000% right away
No,
because
just start slow.
Very low.
it's kind of like with any exercise. Don't overdo it, right?
Right.
No, it's very low key. It just makes everybody feel welcome and
And we'll modify things there, just like I do in all the other classes.
Well, you're a walking, talking tutorial and a testimonial for these classes, obviously, Jill, because this is something that you've obviously become extremely passionate about. You had a goal in mind.
Yep.
You've exceeded that goal, so now you have a new goal, and now you're fighting a 73-year-old. It's all good.
Yep. I mean, I've always loved to swim. I mean, I love,
Okay.
but it's we have a really good time, and and you're getting something out of it. Whether it's the socialization or just with all the exercise and this and that, but
Exchanging recipes.
exchanging recipes.
Yeah, there's all sorts of
You
things
know,
that.
I mean, she keeps everybody informed. We've got a group chat, and so we do.
So just come be a part of that if you guys get a chance
Yeah.
to. If anybody wants to get involved in not just your aerobics class, water aerobics class, if anybody wants to get involved in any of these classes
Right.
that you have, how do they get information for it?
Just contact anyone at the gym and we'll help you. And if you want to speak to me personally, they'll give you my cell phone number. And if anybody wants to, they have actually reached out to me and said that mornings is better for them before they go to school. I had a lady just do that the other day, so now I'm back to doing my 6:30 in the morning class. So I'm here to help anyone I can, just to get out of their comfort zone to help make them healthier.
That's
No excuses.
quite
No
a benevolent
excuses.
agenda there from you, giving out your cell phone to these people. But it is a big undertaking, but it's a very good undertaking, obviously, because you are a reflection of the fitness center, which is a reflection of Prescription for Your Health, and the goal of Prescription for Your Health is to improve the overall quality of life for Roane County residents, one step at a time, one jump in the pool at a time.
Maybe just come and try one class.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a bingo in December where they had a bingo card and you had to do like all the different classes and this and that. And it just got you trying different things. It was crazy. But if you did it all, then you got some gifts or whatever. And
Got them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, well, you guys continue to make this stuff fun, exciting, and welcoming, which is number one to get people through that door. As you said, it's one of the hardest things to do, is get them through the door. Folks, if you have any questions about water aerobics or any of the other classes that either Sherrill teaches or any of the other instructors teach, either call the fitness complex. My suggestion would be to walk in and talk with these people, because once you talk with Sherrill, you talk with any of the others, you're going to find out that you're going to be a lot more comfortable than you thought you were when you walk through the door.
Right.
Sherrill, Jill, great job.
thank you.
Suggested not wearing jorts still for this aquatic aerobics class.
Denim
No
shorts.
Speedos.
Yes. One more question. Wasn't that bad, was it?
No.
Very much so. Folks, it's been another edition of the For Your Health podcast. I'm Andrew Miller. Thanks to Jill Taylor. Thanks to Sherrill Tolley.
Thank you.
Thank you.